Hey everybody, guess whose recording software died for some godforsaken reason? Yeah, I can't record anything, but the ban list is here, and the ban list waits for no man! So I'm just gonna do it here on my phone. I'm just gonna go through the list, give my opinions, because, it's the ban list, and we all gotta have fun with it, and really, there's no point in doing this video after today. So, yeah, here we go. First up, banned. Orcust Horpor. Was not expecting this. I thought Babel was going to get hit. But yeah, no, Orcust is the most powerful deck in the game right now. It's insanely oppressive and has just been taking very big margins out of tournaments. So it needed a hit. It needed a big hit. This is a big deal. Yeah, the deck still has a lot of power, a lot of cards it can use. And I don't think it's dead, but this is one of those hits where it's like you just kind of nod. Like, yes, this takes out one of the biggest problems. So it's good to see. This next one hurts because I'm going to the Pro Play Tour Championship in Orlando next weekend, and this just happened. Thunder Dragon Colossus is banned. I just lost my boss monster. I lost a guy who I used to enable combos. And even though, yeah, the deck is turned very Titan Turbo based, and I think Titan Turbo might still have a spot in the new meta. But Colossus was a big part of the equation, and to lose him like this is tough, but I get it. He's very oppressive, he's very powerful, and, you want other decks to be able to move forward in the meta, and he'd be kind of a bit of a hindrance, so I get it, especially with Master Duel 5 coming, you could just spam him so badly. Like, it makes sense. Then we have Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, so I can't even play Pendulum at this thing. This seems a little much. Like, I thought people were okay with Pendulum as a tier 2 deck. I thought they were doing alright. I don't understand why this. Maybe they wanted to just stop this from being tier 1, I suppose? I don't know. It feels weird, especially because, yeah, Pendulums do get a buff in Master Duel 5 because you can put extra deck monsters anywhere, but I don't know, I still just feel like this was unnecessary. Like, if you wanted to do that, do it, because the next list can be as early as March 30th. So that's right before Master Duel 5 anyways. So, I don't know, I just think this was a bit excessive. Then, Ib the World Chalice Justicar is banned. This was one of those cards where it wasn't doing a lot now, but it definitely had the potential to be super powerful, especially with so many of the other meta decks getting hit, so I think this was the right call. I think this card was not healthy and needed to go. Tempest Magician, this card's part of an FTK I know nothing about, so good riddance, I guess. Outer Entity Azathoth is a strange ban because it's not doing a lot. Like, yeah, Lunalight Orcust will use it, but it seems a little strange to me to kind of hit this card out of nowhere, or at least it felt like out of nowhere, but it's not a good card for the game, so it's probably just better off banned. Salamangreat Mirage Stalio is kind of a big deal. It seems odd to hit Salad. Salad was kind of one of those decks, sort of like with Pen Magician. I thought people liked it where it was. I thought people liked having a budget tier 1 option. I thought people thought it was a fun deck. It just seems weird to do such a big hit. I mean, could the deck still move on? Probably. It's a very resilient deck, but I don't know, this just seems weird, especially because I thought you could have had a pretty healthy meta with this and Thunder Dragon as the two big decks, because those two decks do have a lot of ways to counter each other. So I don't know, it's just weird to me. Then you have Brilliant Fusion banned. Have I missed all the Gem Knight players topping? That's another one, I'm just like, why? But this one, I agree with totally. Sky Striker Mobilize Engage is banned. Fuck that card. Fuck it so much. I hate that deck, because above all else, it just got to live so long. Nothing killed it. They did multiple hits. Nothing stopped it because of Engage. And Engage is now gone. This was a good move. Thank you, Konami. You finally did something right. Then we move on to limits. Some of these I don't like. First up, Danger Nessie is at 1. Dangers weren't doing a ton in this format. It seems a little weird to put it at 1. But I get it. Dangers are very powerful, and they take over any deck they're in. So I get the hit. I think it would probably be necessary down the road. But right now, I think at 2, they were not doing too much. So, I don't know. Moving on, we have Dino Wrestler Pankratops. I don't like this one at all. I think Pankratops is a fair card. I think people use it for dealing with floodgates. People use it for dealing with problematic monsters sometimes. And I think decks need options like that, especially because this thing was splashable in anything. So a lot of lower tier decks really used this card effectively. So I don't understand why the need to get rid of it. I don't understand why put it at 1 when it did so much good for a lot of people. And yeah, I don't like it, especially because this is going to be a back row heavy format because the deck's left living. So I don't like this hit. I hope they go back on it next list. Servant of Endymion, again, why the Pendulum Haze? What were they doing? Who did they hurt? Like, why? Like, this is a powerful card, but why? So yeah, that's that. I don't really have anything else to say. True King, Lithogasm the Disaster. For those of you who don't remember, this is the guy who lets you, like, ditch cards from your opponent's extra deck. And, it's powerful. It can do a lot, and it was very good. But there's another hit on here that I think balances it out. That being said, this is a card I could easily see being a bit too much, but we'll see where the meta goes. I'm too split down the middle on this one for me to really be sure what I want. So, yeah, that's that. Card of Demise is at 1. Good. Card of Demise is one of those cards where the only decks that use it are the ones that abuse it, the ones that make it unfair. It is not the low-tier deck, slow helping thing that Konami wanted it to be. It is the be abused by shit that can do a lot with back row and normal summons. And so, yeah, I think it needed to be at 1 for a long time, and I'm glad it's there. And then this is the one I was talking about with the True King guy. Dragonic Diagram is at 1. This is another card I just don't like. It's sort of like Engage. It just gets you so much advantage. It is so powerful, and it combos so damn well in its deck that it's not right for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I almost think, like, with it at 1, Masterpiece could be at 1, because, like, one Masterpiece I don't think is unfair. It's weird that this is all they would do, although I guess they kind of wanted to hurt True Draco with this list, so I guess. Into the Void is at 1. This is a card being abused quite heavily at the moment, so I think this was the right call. So yeah. Pot of Avarice is at 1. Sure, why not? OCG has 3, doesn't do a lot. This is a powerful recovery card. It can be really useful when used correctly, but you gotta know how to use it correctly to get its full advantage. So I think it's good. Almost surprised they didn't just put it to 3, considering some of the other 3s we'll get to in a little bit. Sekka's Light is at 1. This card is not healthy. This is not a good card for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks that say 37 monsters is okay because you have this is not a good idea. I think this card was always very powerful. And yeah, putting it at 1 I think is a very good call. This next one, however, is not a good call. Why is Red Reboot at 1? I do not understand this. This is like with Pankratops. This card helps deals with floodgates. It helps deals with oppressive trap decks. And I understand traps have been in a bad spot in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time. But the decks that can use traps are very powerful with them. So I've always felt it was necessary to kill this card. I just thought it was necessary to have this card. Because of what it protects you from. And to see it hit is just a little worrisome. So I don't like it. I hope it comes back to 3 next list. It's just not good. I don't think this promotes healthy play. Then you have Deep Sea Diva at 2. That's becoming a deck, so that makes sense. Tour Guide from the Underworld. This feels like indirect BA support because of Master Rule 5, which I don't really like. But, you know, there's something else here that I think maybe balances it out. Mind Control to 2, I think this should have happened a long time ago. I think Mind Control should be at 1. That card can be so powerful when used correctly. But, you know, 2 is a good start, so yeah. And then finally the 3 ofs. Dark Arm Dragon, not doing anything at 2. Lady Debug with Salad Hit, there's no reason why it needs to be limited. Morphing Jar number 2 is a little nutty, but people said that about the first Morphing Jar, and that didn't really go anywhere, so we'll see where that goes. Damage Juggler to 3, once again was doing nothing at 2. Tribe Infecting Virus, it's at 3 in the OCG, nobody cares. 1 Kagari, you hit Engage, it's fine. Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch, you hit Azathoth, it's fine. Solemn Warning is at 3, don't like that. Don't like that, especially with Red Reboot at 1. That might be a little hectic. You already see cards abusing 3 Judgment, so I don't know. Soul Drain is at 3. This Graveyard Abuse is a big problem in this game. Addressing it is nice. And it kind of makes me a little more okay with BA getting a little more powerful because I can just use Soul Drain. So, yeah, that was this ban list fucking intense. A lot of shit happened, and not everything I agreed with. But I think the big decks got hit and the big problems got hit, which is important. It means that we have a new metagame. Like, we have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of testing, and I don't have a lot of time for that. But yeah, it's good, and I think it's a big list, and I think we needed it. So yeah, give me your thoughts about this list below, and as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me, hopefully in the future when I have my software back up.